Good morning, students. I welcome you all to my online class on dynamics. So today we are going to learn a new topic, simple harmonic motion. So first of all, what is simple harmonic motion? So in order to understand simple harmonic motions, we have to consider the motion of a particle along a circular path. So just to look at the figure. Suppose a particle m starting from the position x and it is moving anti-clockwise direction to this circular path, and suppose m is the position of the particle at certain instant of time. So when m is the position of the particle, then the projection of this point m on the diameter of the circle, that means on x and x dash, you will get it is n. So as the point m moves, the position of n will also n will also change. So when this m will come to this position, then n will corresponding to this n will move towards right, towards right, that means towards the origin O. So when this m will come to this position, n you may get here. So when the m will come to the position y, then n will come to the position O. Now what is the meaning of this? That means when the particle m traverses the distance xy, the particle n traverses the distance xo. So we can write this way, see xy, when the particle traverses the distance xy, when the particle m traverses the distance xy, the particle n traverses the distance xo. In the similar manner, when the particle m traverses the distance y x dash in anti-clockwise direction, in the same manner, the particle n will traverse the distance what? O x dash. See here, y x dash, when the particle m traverses distance y x dash, the particle n traverses the distance O x dash. Now when the particle traverses this distance x dash y dash, then this particle n will traverse the distance x dash O. See here, this when the particle m traversing distance x dash y dash, the particle n traversing the distance x dash O. So now when the particle traverses the last quadrant of the circle, that means y dash x, then the particle will traverse the distance what? Ox. So when this particle m completes one complete revolution, this particle n will come to the same position x. That means, see, this particle n starts from this x, it is coming to x, again you are coming to the same position from x dash to it is coming to x. That means the motions of this particle n, it is a to and fro motion. It is a to and fro motion. So this type of motion is known as simple harmonic motions. So for example, you can take the example of a simple pendulum. Just to look at the figure. So this is the equilibrium position of the pendulum, or the mean position of the pendulum. So if you displace this pendulum to your right hand side little bit, and if you release this pendulum, it will direct it towards this mean positions, and it will move towards the right, and again it will come to the same position. So that means for this pendulum there is a to and fro motion. So this type of motion is known as what? Simple harmonic motions. Okay, now let's define what is the meaning of simple harmonic motion. So see the exact definition of simple harmonic motion. A particle is said to execute simple harmonic motion if it moves in a straight line such that its acceleration is always directed towards a fixed point in the line, and is, that means acceleration is proportional to the distance of the particle from the fixed point. So this type of motion is known as simple harmonic motion. So you have to remember, in case of a simple harmonic motion, the acceleration is always directed towards a fixed point and it is proportional to the distance. Then that type of motion is known as simple harmonic motion. Okay, now let's find out the solution of simple harmonic motions. Okay, just look at the figure. Let O be the center of motion and A be a point of rest and P be the position of the particle at time t. Then what will the equation of the motions? You know from the definition that the acceleration is always directed towards the origin, n is proportional to the distance. So from that, say x double dot is proportional to the distance, means proportional to x, and it is directed towards the origin. So because of that, that constant of proportionality will be negative s, because it is directed towards the origin. So here the constant of proportionality, it will be minus mu. So here x double dot, the equation of motion, we can say it is x double dot is equal to minus mu x. Okay, now this is a differential equation. So x double dot means what? It is d square x by dt square. So this mu, so to solve this equation, this mu I have considered n square. So d square x by dt square is equal to what? Minus n square. That means mu is equal to n square x. So you will get a linear equation with constant coefficient. So this one we can express d square plus n square is equal to x, and we have to find out the auxiliary equation. So you know how to find out the auxiliary equation. So if you write down the auxiliary equation from this, what you will get? It is m square plus n square is equal to 0. So m you will get plus minus in. That means the roots are complex conjugates. So in that case, the solution of this equation is given by what? X is equal to a cos nt plus b sin nt. Here a and b are two constants. Okay, now once you know the displacement x, we can find out the velocity. So v is equal to what? V is equal to x dot. So if you differentiate this one, a cos nt plus b sin nt with respect to t, so what you will get? X dot is equal to minus a n sin nt plus b n cos nt. So this first one you write as equation 1, and this you write as equation 2. Okay, now just we have to find out the value of the constants a and b. So just to take this condition, but you have to see the figure also. Initially x is equal to OA, and OA is equal to what? A. I have already shown in figure, and x is equal to, and v is equal to 0 when t is equal to 0. So you just look at this figure. So see here, initially time is equal to 0 and v is equal to 0 when x is equal to a. So we are taking these conditions to find out the value of the constant, this constant a and b. So if we use these conditions, so from equation 1, see the equation 1. So what is equation 1? So equation 1 is equal to what? X is equal to a cos nt plus b sin nt. So use this condition. So here just to see when if you use this condition, say x is equal to what? A. So in place of x you write a, and t is equal to 0. So from equation 1 you will get capital A is equal to small a. So again use these conditions in equation 2. So from that you will get b is equal to 0. So after getting the value of the constants a and b, you put in the expression for x. So what is x? See, x is equal to what? A cos nt plus b sin nt. So here b is equal to 0 and small capital A is equal to what? Small a. So what is the expression for x? X we can write a cos nt. And what is the expression for n? N is equal to what? Because we have considered mu is equal to, we have considered say mu square, initially we have considered n square is equal to mu. So n is equal to what? Root over mu. So from that you will get x is equal to what? A cos root over mu t. So this is the expression for the displacement x. So same way we can write down the expression for v. V is equal to what? After substituting, it is minus a n sin nt. So from this v will get, it is minus a root over mu sin root over mu t, because n is equal to root over mu. So if you make square of v square, so if you make square of v, so you will get the v square. V square is equal to what? It is a square mu sin square, then it is mu t. So sin square, you know, you can write 1 minus cos square mu t. So in that case, in place of cos square mu t, we can write x square by a, because you know the expression for this x is equal to what? A cos root over mu t. So here, if you simplify this one, ultimately you will get v square is equal to mu. It is into root over a square minus x square. So the expression for v we can express this way. It is plus minus root over mu root over a square minus x square. Here mu is a constant. Mu is a constant, and this a is the amplitude. So that one you will get in the definition of amplitude. You will get that this a is known as the amplitude of oscillations. Okay, now let's discuss some important definitions, and we'll deduce the some expressions or some results which will help you to solve the problem. So here certain three things is very important. So when you deal with the simple harmonic motions, then often you will get the word time period, then amplitude and frequency. So what is the meaning of time period? Just to see the definition, what is the meaning of time period? So what is the meaning of time period? The time required for a complete oscillation, that means to and fro motion, the time required for a complete oscillation is called the time period, or the periodic time, or the period of oscillations. So we can find out the expression for this time period. Time period we can denote by t. So how to get the expression? So let t is equal to t naught when x is equal to 0. So if we impose this condition in the expression of x, then what you will get? See here, in place of x0, a cos root over mu, in place of t write t naught. So from that we can find out the expression for t naught. And the time period, if you see the figure, first figure, time period means, suppose the time taken to come to distance is t naught. So here 1 t naught, then 2 t naught, then 3 t naught, 4 t naught. So the time period is given by it is 4 times of t naught. So from this what you will get? What is the expression for time period? So time period we can write, see, 4 times of t naught. So t naught, just now we have find out the expression. So from this, if you simplify, you'll get twice pi by root over mu. So this expression also you have to remember, the time period is given by 4 times of t naught. T naught is given by what? Twice pi by root over mu. Okay, next we'll define amplitude. What is the meaning of amplitude? The maximum displacement on either side of the center of attraction is called the amplitude of the oscillation. So maximum displacement means, you can see the figure. So this is the center. O is the center. So here at this position, this is the maximum displacement. What is the value of x? X is equal to a. So here a is the amplitude. So amplitude means, so you have to remember the maximum displacement on either side of the center of attraction. And how to get the expression? Already you know that amplitude is given by a, so we can deduce that one from the expression for displacement. So we have x is equal to what? A cos root over mu t, and you know that the maximum value of cos is 1, so we can write cos of root over mu t, root over mu, then t less than equal to 1. So if you multiply both sides with a, so what will get? The value of x is less than equal to a. So what is the maximum value of x? Maximum value of x is equal to what? A. So because of that reason, the amplitude of the simple harmonic motion is given by what? Given by a. So lastly, we will define frequency. Frequency means the number of complete oscillation per second is called the frequency. So how to get the number of oscillation? If you divide 1 by time period, then it will give you the frequency. So frequency expression you can remember, n is equal to 1 by t, or nt is equal to 1. So already we have found out the expressions for t. So t is equal to what? It is root over, t is equal to, it is twice pi by root over mu. So here if you substitute the expression for n, you will get root over mu by twice pi. So that way you will get the expression for frequency. So these are the few definitions and results you have to remember when you will deal with the simple harmonic motions. So next class we'll solve the problem based on these results. That means we'll solve the problem taking the help of simple harmonic motions and the definitions which are related to simple harmonic motions. Hope it is understandable. Thank you.